You're about to watch 4 stories from the future. These stories are all about the future of empathy. We're going to fast forward a few years and we're going to take a look at some technologies that might change how we connect with each other and how we relate to each other in really dramatic ways. These technologies don't exist yet, but early versions of them are already being created and studied in research labs all over the world. In fact, someday, these empathy technologies might be as common as mobile phones are today. So why should we spend time thinking about a far-off future when there are so many urgent challenges for us to deal with today? Well, imagining the future is fun. It's a chance to be really creative and inventive, but it's also important. Thinking about the future is a way to take an ethical stand. When we face the future, we're trying to make sense of changes that are already starting to happen all around us. And we're using our logic and intuition to try to figure out where those changes might eventually lead. In fact, when we face the future, what we're really doing is participating in a process of anticipatory history. We imagine what we might do in a world full of new possibilities so that we can prepare to act ethically and responsibly. We think about difficult decisions that we might have to make in the future and how those decisions will affect others. By thinking about that future now, we give ourselves more time to consider our response, more time to figure out how to be an upstander when change is happening fast. In other words, thinking about the future today prepares us to make history tomorrow.
Today is a very special day. Feel That 1.0. Okay. This is the first part of it. Turn it on, and voila. This band is going to measure my heart rate, my blood pressure, and how much sweat is on my skin. Also, and this is the part that's really, really cool, is it can measure my hormone levels, like my adrenaline level, so it'll know if I'm scared or excited, and my cortisol level, so it'll know if I am just stressed out. Also, it can detect oxytocin, which is the love hormone. So if I have a crush on someone, this little guy will pick that up and it'll know. That could get a little awkward. There is this microphone on the side right here, and it's going to analyze my voice for emotion. They have algorithms that'll figure that out based on the tone of my voice and how fast or slow I'm speaking. If you're on Feel That, you should add me. I'm at Kasha, Kasha, and you should be able to feel my very first feel. This is the neuromagnetic stimulator peripheral. Basically, whatever your sensors pick up, I should be able to feel the same thing. I'm gonna try it now. I don't know how to put this on. I think we should try it like this. Yeah? I just set my receive settings to public, so if you added me, you should send a feel at me. I may just pause filming for a little and wait to see if anything happens. Okay, I definitely feel that. You are in an amazing mood. And I don't even know you, but I can feel you. This is, whoa. This is an awful feeling. I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? You feel really nervous. So consider this your official pep talk. Go Max! Okay. This is a weird feeling. Wait a second. Wait, is this your dog? Did I just feel your dog? Okay, so that was my unboxing of the Feel That 1.0. You guys should get your own, try it out. Add me on Feel That at Kasha and send me a feel. Bye, guys.
The first time we used it together, she actually turned to me and asked, "Can you feel that?" Just like in the commercial. It's kind of a weird sensation at first. You know the feelings are coming from outside you, but you still recognize them. You know they're not your feelings, but you experience them as if they were happening to you. An instant when you know with certainty that this sudden emotional wave you're feeling is coming from someone you love, it's mind-blowing. I've read that the number one reason why people get rid of Feel That is that they can't stand feeling someone else's anxiety or anger. With me and Izzy, it was different. Feeling her anxiety, it didn't make me feel more anxious. In a weird way, it calmed me down. It reminded me that we'll always be here for each other. When the thing happened, Izzy was in Tainan, riding back to her grandparents' house, and I just gotten up. We could feel each other, that gentle contact, rewarding and calming. I could tell she was tired, and just begun to doze off in her seat. The fear spike was so strong it knocked me down. I lay there, heart racing, adrenaline pumping. Then just as quickly, everything got calm, and all I could feel was this dizzying warmth and love. For 5 long minutes, I felt it. Felt her, holding on as tightly as she could, then finally fading. Long before I heard the news, I knew what had happened. I replay those last 5 minutes every morning, always starting with the fear spike. It's as much hers as the love. It's not because I can't let go. It's because I don't want to.
The first quake hit at 4:40 in the afternoon. Most people were headed home from school or work. Heart rates jumped when the magnitude 6.3 quake hit, staying high through the 90 seconds of shaking. The pattern of racing hearts matched the propagation of seismic waves from the quake center. But it was the readings from an hour later that really got the people's attention. The second quake measured 7.8 on the Richter scale, almost 200 times stronger than the first. It knocked down hundreds of buildings, trapping over 42,000 people beneath tons of rubble. Looking at the biodata from immediately after is gut-wrenching. Spikes of panic, followed by ongoing waves of heartbeats dropping to zero. It wasn't just the earthquake itself. It was fear, spiking blood pressure and triggering hundreds of fatal heart attacks, all of them recorded in minute detail. It was the first natural disaster the world watched not just in photos or videos, but in live biodata. Nearly 500 million people logged into the Feel That network that night to experience the live stream. For people who weren't in the affected areas, seeing the biodata made the tragedy that much more real, more relatable. In the following days, an emotional cloud descended over California, like the ash that hangs in the air after a volcano eruption. Hundreds of thousands of survivors who had lost their homes or loved ones continued to share their data. Grief trended on the Feel That network for more than a month. The global donations to the relief effort were unprecedented. When the world could truly feel what people had gone through, no one could ignore it. And it wasn't just money that people gave. Volunteers organized efforts to witness the survivors' pain. Throughout the long process of rebuilding, there was always someone online willing to receive the survivors' feelings, even when they were difficult to bear.
The demonstration that night didn't go as planned. There were too many people. Things got out of control. 36 protesters died in our city alone. My brother Carlos was one of them. Drone cameras documented everything. It was hard for our family to watch. At first, the video archives seemed to match the official reports exactly. They said that my brother died accidentally in the chaos and the crush of the mob. But then, we started to hear rumors. The video had been faked. Those 36 protesters didn't die in the street. They had been arrested. Police took the protesters into custody. And that's where they died. That's when we started looking at the biodata. Someone in authority had altered the drone video. But they couldn't alter the data collected by field data implants and digital ink tattoos. Every electric shock, every chokehold had been documented by the victims' bodies themselves. Some of the victims, including my brother, had newer systems, able to track body posture, limb position, and motion. Investigators were able to construct painfully lifelike simulations of what really happened. By the end of 2036, people around the world knew what had been done to my brother, and not just him. They knew the names of the accused and the faces of all the victims, because their bodies could remember what happened. The world could remember too.